Here's a tip for managing your stress. I give this advice to a lot of clients who have got anxiety, depression, general stress. I call this one little tip circle of control, because when we get stressed and we feel overwhelmed by all our work pressures, all our home pressures, it can impact on our concentration, our focus, our memory, our ability to sleep. So sometimes we have to break that stress down and try and understand it. So I call this technique circle of control. And so just say you've got all these stresses on your life, you have no idea where to start. The first technique I would suggest is get a pen and paper out, or a Word document. And now I want you to write down everything that is stressing you in your life. Everything. Mass brainstorm, brain dump, as I like to call it. Now, when you're starting to write all this down, your brain is starting to process it. Your brain's starting to go, holy crap, look at all these stresses in my life. Look at what's going on. But you're also putting things in context, because now you're starting to visually see these stresses. Rather than leaving them all as a big mess in your head, you are now starting to see them visually in front of you. Now, the next tip is we often focus so much of our energy on things we cannot control. And a lot of these stresses in this list may be totally out of your control. So the next technique I want you to do is draw two columns. One column is that which I can control and influence, and the other column is that which I cannot control and influence. Now I want you to go back to that list, and I want you to go to each item and ask yourself the question, can I control or influence this stressor in any way, shape, or form? If the answer is no, it goes into the I cannot control column. If the answer is yes, it goes into the I can control column. And then once you finish going through that list, anything you've put in the no matter what I do, I cannot control or influence that stressor, that's the bin, or that's the white noise in the background that you're acknowledging as a stressor, but you're not going to put time or energy into it because you know you're not going to make any difference on it. Now we're going to come back to the list of things we can control, and we're going to go against each one of these items, and we're going to ask ourselves the question, what can I do to eliminate this stressor, reduce its impact, or make a positive change over time? And if we need to, create a little mini SMART goal against it. And then we're going to look at this list of what I can control. And sometimes we have too many in this list. And we go, oh shit, well that's good. I find out what I can control, but still I've got too much. And this is where we prioritize it. So we look at what's the most important things we have to focus on right now. And what can we put to the back burner as a lower priority? And so what you've done now, you've got rid of all the things that you can't control, and you're now focusing on the most important things. Because we only have limited time resources, financial resources, emotional resources, so now we're conserving our energy to focus on the most important stresses in our life. So there's a tip. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't.